we don't choose our genes. We don't effectively choose our parents, our history, everything that gets passed down to us. So my family became one of the first families in Australia to be genetically tested through a research project.
If you've heard of the Longevity Bible Lifespan by Professor David Sinclair, you know that living well is more important than just living long. In fact, this show is dedicated to the science of beauty, wellness, and longevity. That's why I'm so thrilled to partner with Melrose Future Lab. Future Lab is Australia's first supplement range focused on extending not just your lifespan, but your health span. Available exclusively at Chemist Warehouse, these affordable and science-backed supplements are the key to aging well.
I was so nervous. I was so worried. I laid in that hospital bed and I was waiting for the hot flushes. I was waiting for everything that I'd seen my mum struggle with. And the moment I could start applying that HRT, I did. And I haven't looked back. I feel better than I did prior to that surgery. And I know that's not what happens to every woman. And I know how fortunate I am to be in the position where I have taken active steps in my health to be able to have choices like this. I think, there's so much work that's been done by so many incredible women in the Australian landscape to really make this a pivotal conversation, a moment. And I don't need credit for where it's at right now. There is so many amazing women that have contributed to making menopause the issue and the focus that it is right now. And that's, you've got incredible advocates. You've got...
Who have you got? Run me through the lineup because it's spectacular.
Yeah. So obviously the people that are headlining the Opera House, Dr. Von der Wright, Dr. Kelly Casperson, and Dr. Louise Newson.
Three of the best people to follow.
Three different viewpoints, I think, as well, that's going to be really incredibly interesting. And obviously they bring such extensive knowledge, like from a global standpoint as well, around the evidence. She's like a one-woman comedy show. She is hilarious and she is vivacious, and yeah, she's going to bring the sass. I love Kelly.
And she, she is absolutely so entertaining and wonderful, but that level of specialization for such an important symptom of menopause, and a kind of an icky symptom of menopause that no one really wants to talk about: urinary incontinence, vaginal dryness, loss of libido, all of those things. To have a specialist, a global specialist, speak about it. And I've listened to her and I've taken action as a result. I'm on vaginal estrogen because I've listened to her.
The government is committed to passing the legislation, so it is in drafting stage, and they promise that they'll do it early next year, and I'm holding them accountable to that. If they're not going to, then
watch out. Krystal's coming.
I won't be a happy camper, that's for sure. So we're waiting for the moment that they come back, that they promise that they'll see it through. So we've got to hold that accountable because everyone has committed full bipartisan support. So they've just got to get it done. Genomics is the future of healthcare. There is no doubt about it. It will become a standard tool in wellness, in prevention, in treatment, in diagnosis. It is one of the, I would say, most cost-effective tools across all of healthcare. It never used to be. It used to be a really expensive tool. Say, for instance, my BRCA genetic test many years ago would have been about $6,000 and a bit, $3,000 and a bit. You can get it done for around $200 and a bit. So that it's a very cost-effective tool if you can take action on it.
I have a great update to share from Melrose Future Lab. Hormonal health is a vital hallmark of aging and longevity, and whether you're navigating perimenopause or menopause, Melrose Future Lab's new ultra-complex supplements are here to support you. Backed by clinical research and using advanced technology for effective absorption, These formulations are designed to provide relief through every phase. Find them exclusively at Chemist Warehouse. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
So there's lots of things that we need to get right to make sure the environment is supportive for people who need to go through genetic testing, including, data protections, and, the right consenting processes. Because I truly don't believe when people sign their names on things that they even understand. A period of anxiety or a period of they're not reflecting in the way to understand where their data goes and what all this means.
With this legislation that will pass, will this apply to all predisposition that comes up in a genetic test?
Yeah, everything. So it went,
Incredible.
Jane, and everyone who worked on it wasn't going to accept anything than a full ban. We need to usher in the Genomics Health era, where we can make sure that every person gets to understand their genetics. We don't choose our genes. We don't effectively choose our parents, our history, everything that gets passed down to us, but we have a right to know it and we have a right to act on it. And that is our choice and our choice alone. And, it shouldn't be corporations, it shouldn't be government, it shouldn't be anyone.
You're listening to the highlights edit of a longer episode. If you enjoyed this clip, be sure to download and listen to the full episode. Will you test your children?
My kids were in an article for the Australian, and their health editor actually asked them, like, "Are you going to get tested?" My eldest was like, "Once life insurance discrimination is sorted, absolutely." And Bond was like, "Yes, I will, because I can do something about it." And that's honestly one of the first times that I've really asked my kids that, because I always want them to come to me and talk about whatever they want, but I also just want them to be kids, to enjoy life. And because this is more of an adult onset condition in my family, I just, I want my 14-year-old to, just enjoy her life, and my boys to worry about it when they need to. But they're well aware. They have come to events with me. I never hide anything from them, and I've been always open and transparent around it. And I think they're pretty well adjusted. But as I can only do the best that I can in those tough situations.
I get it. And I think, I've told this story before. It's a funny one, but, Lily said to me this year, Mum, can you have menopause twice? And I went, no, darling, why do you ask? And she said, I just don't think I could live through that again. Because it was just, but similarly, she will say to me, because I'm very open with what's going on with me, and we have conversations, and she also like knows what podcasts I do and that I talk about longevity and wellness and health, and we have friends who are doctors, and my friends speak openly about this. And her grandmother on her father's side has had breast cancer, and they have a history of breast cancer on that side of the family. So she's also seen that conversation in real time. I have purchased a genetic test for her, but I haven't done it. And if I do it, I think I will go the way of letting her be a kid. Maybe I will be aware of the information and then share it with her, as maturity allows. But also, I think that as a parent, while she's still living under my roof, there are things that I can do to support things. So, for example, in the genetic testing that I've done, it shows what your predisposition to allergens is, what your predisposition to macronutrient absorption is, what kind of supplements would be potentially beneficial for you. And as you said, the future of health will be in personalized detection and then personalized prescription and personalized healthcare. So, whilst her healthcare is in my hands, I would like to fine tune the dials that I can do on my side to ensure that she has the best possible outcome for health, whether that's, brain health, emotional health, physical health, absorption, gut, and, all of those things which is now quite visible and quite available, as you said. And that's a $300 test.
Yeah, and I always think it's important to consult with an expert. I have grown up surrounded by doctors and scientists, and I'm always a bit of a pessimist when it comes to unreal.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I always just have to do the because I think for me, I've always grown up around the science.
Yeah.
And I always want to see the evidence on something before I even undertake it. But I think that when it comes to nutrition, and I think when it comes to gut health and allergies and pharmacogenomics, and it's growing rapidly. And as long as you get the right consultation and speak to the right experts, I'm like, test me for everything.
Yeah, I'm like you.
I would happily be I would happily try anything if it's going to end up with more information for my family or me with better health. So I'm always for it. Always.
So, speaking of self-advocacy,
Yeah.
why would you, who do you think is the perfect guest or attendee for So Hot right now, because you've had your medical menopause, I've had my physical menopause. I didn't know anything about menopause. I didn't even know I had menopause until after 2 years after I had menopause. I wasn't getting the right information about whether or not to go on HRT, and thank God I had a doctor that really laid it out for me and said, listen, you want to take HRT, and it's really been beneficial for me. Who do you think should consider coming to So Hot right now? Because it's not just for women in menopause or in perimenopause, is it?
No, I honestly think if you have been born with ovaries, if you are, in your 30s, right and beyond, we're all going to go through the same things at some point in life. One of those things is menopause, but there's so many other women's health issues that we're going to be tackling, and so many interesting conversations that you can share, not only with the ones that you love, but your family and your daughters. Because I really believe that with knowledge comes the responsibility to share it. And this event, like, in all honesty, like, we'll break even on this event. We're doing this because it is absolutely the right thing to do for women. And we needed
It's
to
a gift. It's
we
a gift. The fact that you're willing to do the heavy lifting to get this event up and running, and
feel like a
that's what.
mistake at the moment, Bahar, I'm not gonna lie. but but I know I've done enough things in my career to know when the moment comes and it's here, and it will change women's lives. Like Vonda has changed yours. Like the women that I met globally that have helped me through my career and my life and my decision making, it changes your life. It changes how you go into the world, the choices that you make, and the future that you build for yourself. And I just know the impact that this event is going to have on Australian women will be profound, and it will benefit women for generations to come. And that's what So Hot right now will do. It'll change the women's health landscape in Australia. I'm certain of it.
Well, that is so hot.
It's
That
so
is
hot.
really hot. And as I said, I don't know if you remember, but at my Ageless event, I had the Hot AF fans, right?
I love them.
Which was kind of a nod to this moment that, midlife is not the end of life, and menopause, however you get there, is not the end of anything. We're at a point in time in science where we can, patch ourselves up, top up on what's missing, whether it be testosterone or estrogen or progesterone, whether it be some changes to your nutrition, to your diet, to your exercise. But what you were saying, and I just want to reiterate, and that's the whole reason I have this podcast, is knowledge is power, and expert knowledge is your power.
Yeah.
Whilst it's great for us as friends, as women, as mothers and daughters, as aunts and grandmothers to have the conversation, nothing beats expert advice. And so my invitation to anyone who's listening, who's considering it, is grab your own menopause and come and join us at, I'll be taking my friends and I'll be inviting my mum, who never took HRT, to come and to make a day of it, because it really is an incredible opportunity to hear from the best experts. But also, I think everything you touch is beautiful. I can assure you that it will not feel like a medical conference. Krystal literally does not do anything that doesn't feel luxurious and elevated and amazing. So I'm almost positive that it's going to be quite the event.
Concert hall at the Opera House. It is by far the most beautiful space I've been in. It is, you walk into that space and you feel like you're a part of something profound, and it's nearly emotional. So I know that we've found the right space at the goddamn Sydney Opera House. We need every seat filled.
Yes, we do.
And we need to make this a moment so that every government that comes after this one and the one after that listens to women, makes decisions on policies and legislations that protects us and our future selves and our daughters to come. And this is a moment to create that. And we need that groundswell. And then who knows what will come after it. But I want to see everyone at the Opera House. Like,
Yeah, and anyone who's listening to this episode or watching it, I just want to remind you that menopause is the single biggest event that will affect our longevity, our beauty, our energy, our functionality. And there is no point to be interested in any of those topics if you don't have a handle of what's coming or what has been or what is now around perimenopause and menopause. And it is just so worth carving out the time to attend an event such as So Hot Right Now. And I'm inviting everyone who attended the Ageless Radiance Club event in September. You know, there was 170 of us in the room. We should at least be filling a couple of rows at Krystal's event in March. And anyone who is listening to really, you know, mark the date in your diary. You can jump online and on Humanitics and purchase tickets. And what do they start at?
the Opera House. So it's on the Sydney Opera House website. So you go,
Oh,
and
yes. Okay.
$159.
Perfect.
So, and if you buy 10 tickets or more, you get a 10% discount as well. So I always say, get your girlfriends together,
We
get
will.
percent off.
We hear the call. We hear the call. We're coming. Everyone's coming.
Come on, ladies. And So Hot Right Now, it's not, you know, hot flushes. It's because this issue for women is so hot right now. And we need to remind every single person that we shouldn't be forgotten when we hit menopause, that this is a moment where we should have more choice and options and be able to thrive in the later stage of our life. And the science is there, but the access isn't. And the, you know, different types of HRT isn't, you know, available as much as it should be. The right support needs to be there. So we need to rally all the gals together and show Australia that we are so hot right now and we will be listened to.
I love it. I couldn't think of a better call to action. Thank you so much and congratulations, darling. I am beyond proud of you and very grateful to you. Very grateful to you and the whole team. And I can't wait to support you. It's really been an honor to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you, love. Thank you.